You'll be poor forever if you don't stop doing these 9 things. The truth is, most people will never really build wealth, and it's not because they aren't smart or talented. It's simply because they're stuck doing things that will guarantee that they stay broke. Are your subconscious habits quietly destroying your future? Is your circle of friends the real reason why you're not wealthy? Or are you sabotaging yourself with beliefs you don't even know you have? I'm Dr. Brad Klontz, financial psychologist, professor, and best-selling author. I've spent my entire career studying the habits, the beliefs, and the behaviors that separate the rich from the poor. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some truths that I've discovered that could change your life forever. And if you're doing this thing, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're going to feel broke forever. And make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video that could change your financial future. Now let's get into it. Number 1, you're trying to trade yourself to wealth. Do you think you're going to get rich by trading meme stocks or crypto? The data says you're wrong. Dead wrong. The fact is that most retail traders lose money. Now, there's a lot of studies on this that have been done in the United States as well as abroad. And from everything I've seen, as much as 90% of traders end up losing money. And the terrible fact is, the more they trade, the longer they're trading, the more money they're losing. And cryptocurrency? Studies have found that 3 out of 4 Bitcoin traders lose money even when the market's going up. Why? Because this desire to get rich quick always backfires. It's driven by an emotional cocktail of self-destruction, fear of missing out, getting all excited about making trades, paying attention to your wins and ignoring your losses. It is a losing proposition. And the fact is, rich people do not do this. That is not investing. Many people that I've worked with who are afraid of investing are actually thinking about trading, and they've heard terrible stories about their relatives, their uncles, their friends who've lost all their money. Nobody has lost all their money in their 401k. Nobody has lost all their money in their Roth IRA unless they have been doing these types of crazy trading strategies. If you are serious about building wealth, you need to stop trading and you need to start investing. Wealth is not built over the weekend. It's built over years and decades. And the sad reality is, most people will gamble away their future before they build it. Number 2, you're hanging out with poor mindset friends. I talk about this a lot. We mentioned and made this distinction in my best-selling book, Start Thinking Rich. There's a big difference between poor and broke. Poor is a mindset. Broke means you just don't have any money. What I want you to be worried about and what I want to eradicate from your consciousness is a poor mindset, because it will keep you broke forever and it's extremely self-destructive. Show me your 5 closest friends and I will predict for you your net worth. If you're surrounded by people who think money is evil or success is selfish, you are going to sabotage yourself. If you believe that wealth is only for the lucky, you're never even going to try. These types of beliefs sabotage you every single day. What is so challenging about your friends is psychologically, we are wired to conform to our tribe. It's called social modeling, and it's one of the most powerful ways that we organize our beliefs about the world. And if your tribe is hating on the wealthy, or if they're spending money like there's no tomorrow, guess what you're going to do? If you ever want to become rich, if you want to better your life financially, you're going to need to start spending time with people who think like rich people. As a matter of fact, you're never going to become wealthy unless you adopt a wealthy mindset way before you get the money. A rich mindset thinks long-term. It thinks in terms of abundance, not scarcity. And it's incredibly intentional. It has a plan for its financial future. Do you have a plan? And comment below. I'm dying to know. What is one poor mindset that you've heard someone talk about in your circle? Number 3, you use credit cards like it's an emergency fund. What if your credit cards all got shut off tomorrow? Would you panic? Or would you be okay? Using credit cards as a financial safety net is a disaster waiting to happen. It might feel like security, but it is a toxic financial trap. And here is a thought experiment that hopefully is going to help you avoid falling into that trap. Just imagine for a moment that all of your cards were maxed out and you had no access to getting additional cards. Just imagine that that's the scenario you're in. What would you have to cut in that moment? What would you have to sell? Where would you have to live? What would you stop doing immediately? And if you're in financial trouble right now, do them now. Don't wait until you rack up a bunch of credit card debt. Using debt as your financial lifeline is just going to set you up for stress and shame and regret. You're going to have a big monkey on your back of all this debt that could take you years or even decades to pay off. True peace of mind comes from having an actual emergency fund. Even $1,000 saved puts you far ahead of most people. Wealthy people do not rely on high interest debt from banks to bail them out. They build their own safety net, and you need to do it too. Number 4, you don't pay yourself first. If you don't pay yourself first, you're going to be paying everyone else the rest of your life. This is one of the most foundational habits of the rich. They don't spend and then hope to save and invest what's left over at the end of the month. Nothing's going to be left over. No, they save and invest before they spend money on anything else. And by anything, I mean their mortgage, their bills, their utilities, groceries. When you get your paycheck, you need to set aside money for your financial future and for your goals, or you're never going to achieve them. Even if you're making minimum wage, this principle works. For example, if you invested $5 a day and got average market returns, in about 40 years, you're going to have over $1 million. It's really that simple. But what do most people do? They get their first job and they design their life around their paycheck. They pick an apartment, they buy new clothes, they get furniture, they go get a car. And then guess what? There's no money left. So of course they can't start saving and investing. And if you've already gone down that road, I get it. It's really, really difficult. That's why I'm super passionate about getting this message to people as early as possible in their lives. When you get your first job, you're going to feel rich in that moment. That's when you need to start saving and investing. You have to pay yourself first. Your first bill goes towards your financial freedom. You have a pot of money left over. That pot gets divided up for the other things in your life. Rent, car, clothes, furniture. If I had one wish, it would be that every young person heard what I just said. If they did it, they'd be set for life. So if you know a young person starting out, share this information with them. Share this video with them. It can radically change their life. So set your investments first and then make the rest of your life fit with the remainder. This will flip your entire psychology from that of a consumer to that of an investor. It will shift you from a spender to a builder. The bottom line is, if you don't control your lifestyle, it's going to control you. Number 5, you think budgeting is for broke people. Rich people don't budget, right? Wrong. They just do it differently. Most people hear budget and they think restriction. It's almost psychologically like it's a diet. And what happens when you go on a diet? I'll tell you what happens. You're going to start craving sugary treats and high caloric foods and fat. That's how we're wired. You can't think of a budget as a restriction. Budgeting isn't about cutting joy out of your life. It's about saying yes to what matters most to you and letting go of the stuff that doesn't matter so much. Psychologically, I like to think of it as a spending plan. You're going to sit down. You're going to decide, what are your most important financial goals? Maybe it's retirement. Maybe it's the down payment of a house. Maybe you're going to save for a car. Doesn't matter what it is, but it matters to you. You need to set these goals on what's most important to you. Then decide how fast you want to achieve those goals. And based on that, you're going to decide how much money you're going to set aside and pay yourself first from each paycheck allocated towards those goals. Then you have some money left over. That's what you're going to build your life around. And then, this is so critically important, start tracking your spending. Where does each dollar go? Most wealthy people, they can tell you they're paying attention. Most broke people have no idea. You can't look at budgets as a punishment. It's permission. Actually, a budget can let you feel good about your spending instead of guilty all the time. And it gives you permission to build wealth and to sleep soundly. Doesn't that sound great? Here's a psychological tip. If you grew up hearing things like, we can't afford that, there's a chance that psychologically you have associated budgets with scarcity. You need to flip that script. Think about it as a spending plan. You're going to take care of what matters most to you, and you're going to let go of some of the rest. Number 6, if you keep blaming the system, you're going to stay broke forever. Yes, inequality is real. Life is not fair, and it's never going to be fair. But the second you hand over all your power to the system, you have lost. And you can't wait for the government or politicians or anyone else for that matter to save you. Wealth building, and in fact, all areas of success, really hinges on what we call in psychology an internal locus of control, where you believe on a deep level that the outcomes you're getting in your life and the outcomes that you perhaps want someday in the future are entirely 100% on you. Many, many studies have been done on this. This is the psychology of wealth. This is the psychology of success. The psychology of being poor and the psychology of failure is what we call an external locus of control, where you think that it's the rest of the world that has set you up to be failing over and over and over, and you're not taking any responsibility for it. That's a toxic mindset. And if you have it, you got to snap out of it. The people who escape poverty, who go from poor to middle class and from middle class to upper class, they take responsibility for their own financial outcomes. They change their beliefs, they change their habits, and they get better results. Okay, fine, the system's broken, but guess what? You're not. So don't act like you are. Number 7, you believe that money is the root of all evil. If you subconsciously believe that money is evil, you are going to push it away. This is one of the most common self-destructive money scripts I've seen in my research. It usually comes from religious misquotes or a childhood history of trauma, either you experience or your parents or your grandparents. But here's the truth. Money's not good or bad. It just amplifies who you are. If you're generous, having more money can make you more generous. If you're selfish, having more money will make you even more selfish, and having less money will even make you more selfish. Wealth in the hands of good people does good things, period. You're a good person. I'm sure you'd do great with a bunch of money, wouldn't you? Until you rewrite this money avoidance script, you are going to sabotage yourself over and over and over. And chances are you've surrounded yourself with a bunch of people who also believe that money is bad and rich people are evil. It makes it so difficult to better your life when that's your mindset, and that's the mindset of the people closest to you. It may come down to this. You don't actually have a money problem. Maybe you have a money mindset problem. Number 8, and this is a big one, you constantly compare yourself to others on social media. The more you scroll, the more you're gonna feel broke, and it's by design. Stop comparing your life to someone's highlight reel. Understand this too. You are comparing yourself to people who are likely faking it. In terms of money, the wealthiest people actually downplay how much money they have. So who are these people flexing all this stuff on social media, making you feel broke? And more importantly, the comparison trap leads to feelings of envy, overspending, and even feeling depressed. But worst of all, sabotaging your own plan or giving up on it altogether. Next time you're on social media, look at accounts, and if it's making you feel bad about yourself, unfollow them and instead follow people who inspire you and want to make you grow. Your best financial life is not going to come from comparison. It comes from clarity about what matters most to you. And it also comes from studying the actual habits and psychology of people who are actually wealthy. And number 9, you spend money to feel better instead of fixing the root of the problem. This one is so incredibly deadly, so pay close attention. You're not shopping for stuff, you're shopping for dopamine. Emotional spending is one of the biggest traps that can keep people broke. You're trying to solve emotional pain with a package from Amazon. It's never going to work. This is the financial equivalent of having a broken leg and putting a Band-Aid on it. Instead, learn to sit with your emotions. Journal, exercise, meditate, talk to somebody. Get to the roots of what's happening for you emotionally, because there's no amount of money that you're going to spend that's going to fix that. And not only that, you will have dug yourself a hole that leads to more misery. Stop using your credit card to regulate your mood. It's a form of emotional numbing, and it's one of the most common self-sabotaging behaviors I see around money. You cannot out-earn emotional spending. You have to heal it. If you're doing any of these 9 things, you're not alone. But you are in danger of staying broke forever if you don't change. The good news, you can stop right now. It starts with awareness. Make sure to check out the description below for additional resources. I'm Dr. Brad, and I'll see you next time.